Gentlemen, behold the Dark Asylum podcast. I am your sarcastic, anthropomorphic, cynical milkshake, the chosen one, Zach Winters. And with me, as always, is my super smart, psychic, telekinetic box of fries, Darkness.
Oh, everybody.
No, you fucked up the joke.
Oh, shit, that's Meatwad. Damn it. Damn it.
And then, no, we're leaving this in. And then
right.
my chewy, lumpy, I had this worked out in my head. Fuck it, he's Meatwad, Mike, or Big Vicious.
Jesus, Zach, what's wrong with you tonight?
So usually, little peek behind the curtain. Usually, I have a beer or two before hopping in here and recording with you guys. Today, I have not.
He's progressed to just straight vodka now.
No, I'm drinking water because it's 90 degrees and I'm sitting in my closet and it's hotter than shit in here. Anyway, nice. Welcome to the Dark Asylum podcast, the weekly podcast where three professional wrestlers try not to talk about professional wrestling. But we will this week because I watched You Cannot Kill David Arquette, and it's really good. But first, we'll start off with each other's weeks, or we can get into a little bit of bummer news. Chadwick Boseman dying of colon cancer, which was a big hit to the nerd community.
It's like all of a sudden, I get a message from a guy I work with, and he's like, "Yo, did you hear?" And I'm like, "The fuck you talking about, dude?" And I look it up, and I'm like, "Jeez, man."
Did we even know that he was sick? Like I heard, I saw the pictures of him getting like skinnier and skinnier, but I didn't know he was sick.
It started becoming rumors in like April or May or something like that when he did some video on Twitter or something, which he pulled down, but nobody knew. He just all of a sudden was like, bam, right there.
Jesus.
Yeah, I guess they're going back and saying that he actually had been diagnosed with it while he was still, I think he was in Endgame. And
no, it was back with it was 2016. So I mean, even before Black Panther.
Yeah, he was just going through treatments and stuff during Endgame, so it was even more, even especially harder for him because he's sitting there getting whatever treatments he needs for what's going on, and then he's got to go out to the set.
He's got to go out to the set and do this super physical, Black Panther role. And he's got to try to retain that superhero, size and strength.
The thing that is crazy to me is we've got over 10 years worth of the MCU. And, when you have big, long franchises like, you had Harry Potter and the original Dumbledore. I mean, he died early on and they replaced him.
Yeah.
And, with an exception of a couple of minor characters, I was amazed that having a cast at that age for a lot of the teachers and stuff, they all made it for the most part, till the end of the series. To have someone like Chadwick Boseman, who is still very young.
Yeah.
43.
Yeah, 43 years of age. I mean, he still had a lot to do. He still had a lot to contribute to the overall continuity of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it's kind of an even harsher blow because they still had so much for him. His character was still strong in story, and he was still so young. He was supposed to take it a few more movies at least, and then be intertwined throughout the rest of the stories.
Yeah, that new Black Panther movie coming out. It's not happening now.
Removing yourself from the tragedy of the loss, I mean, and just looking at it as a purely storyline aspect, it's where can you go from here? They replace? Do they pass it on the White Panther on to Shuri? There's options. There's things that have happened in the comics that they can try and translate. I mean, it's still kind of new and fresh in everyone's head, so I don't expect anyone to make any decisions. But
I'm honestly hoping he didn't sign that one release that Disney's been passing around, and then we get a CG.
The Bobby work.
Yeah, we don't get a Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Or Mark Hamill. He he signed his shit over. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah, that poor guy got so beat down with those last set of movies, you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's unprecedented because this stuff's happened before plenty of times, but it's just there was still so much more for him to do. And aside from all the other roles outside of the MCU that he was, you know, he had to do, he still had a whole lot of life to live. And, you know, so
I mean, yeah, like you said, you think about the tragedy just of it all, just not the movies. Like he was taking what he did for black superheroes in general was huge.
Yeah, I think the role,
and you know,
transcended almost.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't. He was a black superhero, yes, but more than just black kids and, you know, white kids loved him. It was a universal and a universally loved movie, and everyone could relate to that character. And he just transcended everything, all these barriers. So that was, you know, a very rare thing in this business of making movies.
Yeah. Anyway, so rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. What all did we do this week?
I painted myself into a corner, literally.
Oh, are we starting How Has God Blinded Darkness today?
Well, I figured since it's all I really had going on.
So,
this week.
well, we have to replace it because we were just talking about how Big V got Stern talking to, so we can't do him almost dying anymore.
We're having to put an axe to that part of the show. So
yeah, just so everybody listening knows, we can't do that anymore. But we can still do How Has God Blinded Darkness.
Oh yeah, because that'll never stop, and the only person that I'm going to get in trouble with is God, I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's like you're like the real life Millhouse.
Yeah, everything's coming up Millhouse.
Jesus.
I had some replaced at the front of my house to get up to my front door. Fucking hill. And they've been replaced, so they needed to be weather stained and everything. And we finally had a spell of weather that it wasn't going to rain and destroy everything because you need like 72 hours for this stuff to dry. So I'm out there and I'm painting and I'm trying to get everything, you know. And then I stop and I look, and I literally painted myself into a corner. And I'm stuck out on my deck, and I'm like, all right, I thought I had this all figured out. I left myself like little footholds to, you know, put my foot down on and kind of jump around. But nah, I screwed up. So
and then I was stuck there for 6 hours and nobody came looking for me.
No, I was home by myself. My cat was staring at me through the window, just like, you dumbass. All right, well.
He's like, Kitty, give me some water.
Yeah. Well, see, it wasn't too bad because I was able to jump up onto the rail and kind of like go over to the side. But the thing that really got me is I set up my my phone with a Bluetooth speaker so I could listen to music, and that was on my roof, and I couldn't get it, so my phone was stuck on the roof for about 3 hours.
Oh my god!
But
I think this is almost a better segment.
Oh Jesus!
I was walking down the store, and then I farted really loud, and these kids were laughing at me, and then I tripped and pissed my pants.
Well,
so darkness. The phone was okay though, right?
Oh yeah. I was, you know, I had to climb out.
All right, I mean,
through the window, get up to the roof, and grab it. But yeah, it was okay.
I mean, as long as the phone's okay.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's painted the stairs and the deck, and got a couple of husband points out of that one, and hopefully I'll turn them in for.
Did you finally get
cash and prizes later? What? What's that?
Did.
Oh hey, by the way,
I haven't been to Hawaii ever.
Oh shit! How'd the audiobook thing with your wife go? The reading and listening portion.
See, my wife gives me a sympathy listen, and well, the whole podcast she gives a sympathy listen. She'll turn it on, and then she'll just do something else. So I don't think she even was paying attention when it came up.
She fucking...
So you were safe?
Yeah, she didn't come up to me and say anything. I don't even know if she...
You know, the show's really good, but I can't stand that darkness guy. Oh, that's me, honey.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We need better ratings. Can I get her phone number real quick?
No. Okay. What?
Give her a call and let her know the topic at hand. And...
Okay, you're kind of creeping me out.
Do not send
Move
pictures
on.
of your huge, gigantic nuts to his wife, please.
Uh,
I don't need us breaking up for this reason.
Oh, Jesus. Why'd you have to even take it there, Zach?
Because it sounded like you're taking it there.
Some guy sent me naked pictures of him sitting on a beanbag. Oh, that's just V.
Anyways.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about his gigantic nuts. We got to move along now.
Move along. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see.
My God. What brought it?
Was
oh, yeah.
Sending pictures to my wife, evidently. I don't know.
That's my wife.
Yeah. Well, you know. So that was my week. That was my How Did God Blight Darkness week.
I've been playing Persona 5 because I'm a stupid weeb. And then still chugging along at Disco Elysium, which is an awesome game that everybody should play who has a mildly competent computer. I read The Wake.
Oh, yes. The Wake.
The Wake, which we'll talk about later.
I finally finished DC Batman Metal.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah. The Dark Batmans and all that good stuff. So I'm glad to be over with it because sometimes those overarching stories just take too long to get through.
Yeah, it gets a little... Some of the things get a little...
tedious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Drawn out long.
Yeah.
What weird shit can we make him do this time?
Yeah. Oh, we've got evil Batmans from all different dimensions that are basically based off of the other members of the Justice League. All right, send it to print. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the character designs were pretty cool. I mean, everyone's seen the Batman Who Laughs. So
yeah.
Everyone knows that one. It looks like Judge Death, but we're not going to bring that up, I guess. And, yeah, he's got that one. And there was a couple other cool designs. There was a female version of Batman that was basically Aquawoman, which was interesting. And the Green Lantern version, the Flash Speed Force version, and, you know, it was okay. It just dragged on for too long.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna find something cool, and then they're just gonna beat it to death because it made a little bit of money, just like anything else.
Oh yeah.
So Batman's cool. What if we made him the Green Lantern? Nobody wants to see that bullshit. They don't. Send it to print.
So yeah, basically all I've done, well, like Zach says, don't say work, but I did Saturday go to a cemetery with a group of people and do some EVP work.
You've been picking up goats hunting. You find anything cool?
We had a few interesting things there. We were over here at the Willamette Cemetery, and we kind of toured around and got a little bit of like nose and goes aways on the spirit box. But we started walking down this walkway, and we get this name Henry. We're asking, is there anybody out here? You know, we're just repeating the questions, and we get this name Henry, and we're like, okay, Henry. Well, about 6 places down, so there are these flat little markers. You can't see them unless you're like right up on top of them. About 6 markers down, there's one with the name Henry on it. So, you know, we get a little interested. We stand there and we're asking questions, and we're getting a few little hits here and there. And as soon as my friend stuck his foot on the little concrete slant that's right before the marker, we get clear as day, go away. Not like no, go. And it wasn't all staticky like all the rest. It was clear as day, go away. So we're like, all right, time to go. So
yeah, I'm mad if they're walking on my grave too.
No, it wasn't walking. It was like the foot. There's like this little concrete slant that comes from the roadway.
Oh, okay.
And then it goes into the grass, and then the marker.
Okay.
He put his foot there. He put his foot there to brace himself so he can lean in a little bit and ask a few questions and stuff. And go away. So we take off walking. So we're looping around on the walkway, and two other people we're with stop and they start looking at something. We walk a little further up. But we turn around and we're like, okay, hey, maybe we should go grab them so we can go. And as we both go to walk, we're both like, whoa, almost simultaneously. We're like, what happened to you? Well, I felt pressure on my right arm, like it was pushing me back. And he had a pressure on his chest that was like pushing on him. And it's like, all right, we're being told to go. And now we're feeling like something keeping us from going back in. So it's like, come on, guys, let's go. It's we're done for tonight.
Nice. That's crazy that you got actual, first time out kind of contact. That's pretty cool.
Well, you go to a cemetery, you get something.
Yeah,
that was the thing. We explained to the group, because this was basically a little orientation to see small little groups of people showing up to see if they're going to be still interested or if they're actually serious. Some people watch, TV shows and they're like, oh, yeah, that looks awesome, I'm going to do that. But what they don't realize is a lot of those TV shows add a lot of extra stuff in there to keep their ratings. In reality, we might go do something and get nothing at all. And we could go back to the cemetery and get absolutely nothing again. It's hit and miss. Right at the beginning, before we let the group go, we were up at the top part and we tried to do some EVP work and we were getting nothing. So it's like, all right, let's go. Later on, we'll get into some bigger things. And the small group I was in, we decided just to walk around after everybody else left. And that's when we got a little bit of stuff. So it's going to be interesting. I decided to go pick up some equipment, ordered it, got the camera today, waiting for the other stuff to come in, and yeah, I'm ready to go.
Speaking of the shows, can we talk about how fucking stupid Ghost Adventures is?
That's the one on A&E, right?
Travel, I think.
Travel, yeah, the one where everything's evil. He always gets scratched.
So yeah, that's him. He's Zach Bagans, and he always wears a stupid affliction T-shirts, and he's always jacked, yelling at the ghost, "Come at me, bro! Come at me!" And then like,
oh my god, turn on the light! Look at that. There's three.
Oh my god,
there's 3 scratches.
So
not that I did it myself.
I don't know which ghost hunting show it is, but I am constantly being mistaken for one of the fuckers on that show.
It's Ghost Adventures. I know exactly what you're talking about because there's a dude on Ghost Adventures named Aaron who looks like.
Yep. Oh, you talking? Yep. So hold on. I don't know. So I was going to say you might be mistaken for the old ghost hunter guy, the short bald guy. But now that you mention it, yeah, you do look. So Aaron lost a lot of weight, and now he looks like he's like got AIDS and shit. But anyways. Yeah, I can almost see that. Not that you look like you got AIDS and shit, but
Jesus.
V, it's pronounced hepatitis. But like Aaron's the funniest one because like they're always like, oh yeah, this guy murdered 4 people in this room and then performed satanic rituals where he draped their bodies in there. Hey Aaron, why don't you go hang out in that room for 4 hours and see what happens?
Well, that's cool. It's cool that you got different cemeteries out here. I've been to a few of them, and some of them are really cool. I don't know. It's Lincoln something cemetery. It's on a hill, and it's got like this mausoleum in there that's like 4 stories, and they keep building and adding on sections to it. I like going there. I love that place. It's kind of morbid, but whenever family comes to town or something like that, like we go and hang out at the cemetery. I show it to them.
You guys should come out this way to the Lafayette Cemetery because that one's supposed to be really haunted.
Yeah, my kid did a school play on that, and yeah, they talk about it being.
People
really
get like
fun.
chased out. I haven't been back there yet, but people have been reported about getting chased out, and you could hear shit walking out in the woods. I think it's all horse shit, but whatever.
Yeah, maybe we should do our Halloween special there.
Zach sounds like a non-believer. I don't know.
I believe enough that I'm not going there at night, if that's what you're suggesting. Just because I don't like hanging out in cemeteries at night.
Oh man, come on! What's the best places to hang out?
You know, I'll think about it. Maybe we can make this work. I was just thinking our Halloween special could be our favorite horror movies, but whatever. You guys want to go out and get chased by a witch or whatever.
The one over here in the hills is pretty cool. There's a couple of other cool ones out here. I like to go just to cemeteries for the aesthetics and then finding like celebrities. So
celebrities?
Well, departed celebrities. Just their headstones and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know how morbid it is, but I've got like charcoal rubbings of like Bela Lugosi's headstone when I was living in LA, and I went and got that and stuff like that. So
I don't know, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I went up to Seattle one of the trips and stopped by Bruce and Brandon Lee's grave and stuff like that. So
nice.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's funny. I mean, all cemeteries are cemeteries, but some of them have different types of architecture and make them stand out. It's kind of cool.
Well, yeah, Bruce and Brandon Lee's got pretty cool headstones.
Yeah, like they're those big slabs of I don't know if they're granite or what, but they're really like this big smooth stone that's about 4 or 5 feet tall.
Yeah,
so it's pretty cool.
I mean, I've only been to JFK's tombstone.
Is that in DC or?
Yeah, in DC. I went to DC forever ago.
Yeah, there's a couple out here that I wanted to see, but like Roddy Piper would be one of the ones for me out here. I never got to meet him in life because I wasn't part of the big Portland scene. So
you weren't there yet?
No.
Did I ever tell you how I accidentally cold shouldered him?
No, what happened?
So he was at the BCW arena, and I didn't realize it was him. And I can't remember who I was talking to, but like it was 2 guys and then just this short fat guy who I didn't recognize. And then, pro wrestling etiquette, you go around, you shake everybody's hands, you say hi. And then I shook the 2 local guys' hands, and then I didn't recognize this little fat guy. And I was like, just like, hey, I'm Zach. He was like, hi, I'm Rod. I'm like, oh, cool. And then I completely like turned my back to him and start talking to one of the other guys, and they're all looking at me kind of weird. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I leave, and then everybody's like, oh, did you see that Roddy Piper's here? Did you see Roddy Piper's here? I'm like, no. And then I look out, and then of course it's this short little fat guy who I just fucking blew off.
Oh, damn.
After that, he liked me. A weird one that's kind of creepy now is that Marty Jannetty seemed to take a huge liking to me.
Right?
It's funny because when I first started watching wrestling back in the day, the Rockers were big, and my mom was watching wrestling with me, and she had a crush on Marty Jannetty. Out of that group, I didn't think that she thought Marty Jannetty was going to be the big breakout in that team.
Man, was she wrong?
Yeah, she liked her some Marty Jannetty. I don't know if she's kept up with what kind of things he's gotten into since then. But...
I thought like me and Marty Jannetty got along, but I think we got along because I couldn't understand a fucking word he said to me. Because I don't know if you were there, but like he mumbles a lot.
I was there because he looked at me and Grant. He was like, "Oh my god, guys, how long have you been a team?" Like, me and Grant were like, "Tonight." Like, and he's like, "Oh my god, you look like you've been a team forever." I'm like, "Dude, you are so fucking high."
Yeah, he always would sit next to me and like slap me on the thighs and shit, and then he'd like be, I'd hold conversations with him where he's just sitting there, and then he'd slap me on the arm and laugh, and then I'd laugh too, but I have no idea what the fuck he told me. Probably about how he wants to bang his daughter and kill his drug dealers.
So Zach, do you like movies about gladiators? That's what he was saying.
Yeah, no. So the funny thing was, like, me and Grant did really well that night. Me and Meat did really well. We took on the Orky Choki Warriors, or I can't remember. And Meat ended up doing the Triple Meat Express to Tubbs and the two Warriors, and it was a really good match. But he was back there like talking like we were like 10-year vets in the tag team business, and it's like, dude, like, first clean off the white underneath your nose, and then kind of chill a little bit.
Yeah, he liked his crown royal.
So since we're already talking about wrestling, since we vow to do very little of it, let's get it all out of the way now.
Yeah, fuck it.
Zach, did you want to bring up the David Arquette?
Yeah. Darkness, you said you watched a little bit of it. V, did you get to see any of it?
I saw some like trailers and shit. There was a trailer for it and everything, like where he's talking. He put the spray tan on, and they're like, "What about your movie?"
That shit was funny because like after that he gets into the shower, and he looks like he has jaundice because it's the spray tan still on him, but it's all patchy and shit. But no, it's really kind of. I post about this a little bit on my Facebook. It's kind of like inspiring because,
right?
You know, I saw a lot of struggles that a lot of us face. I know I faced it, where like trying your hardest to stop being or not being a joke in professional wrestling. Because V, you could vouch for this. Where we came from with the old Portland wrestling days, weren't a lot of the guys weren't, you know, properly trained and stuff. And then
even if they were properly trained, they were looked at as jokes because of the people we were surrounded by.
And then, you know, we go off. I'd say it was me, you, JB, and a couple other guys I can't even think of right now. We went off and got like real proper training, but you know, just because of our past associations, and we were working so hard to stop being perceived as jokes and all this other stuff. And it kind of like resounded with me on a personal level, his little struggle with it. He's seen as, you know, the 180-pound celebrity who walked into WCW and got the title. And it's the worst moment in professional wrestling history. And with him, it resounded. He hated being this joke because he loves professional wrestling. He just wasn't, you know, a big guy, and he was an actor,
right?
And he was always seen as this huge blemish, and now he's trying his hardest to work his way out of that joke, and he's doing pretty well. He went down to Mexico and trained, which I want to get into this because I kind of love this idea. Apparently, luchadors, Mexican wrestlers will start wrestling, like doing spots in the street, doing sequences in the street where they're like Hurricanrana, whip each other, come running back, give him a Hurricanrana. He'll do his other twisty, flippy shit in the middle of the street, like during rush hour traffic. And then after they finish the sequence, they'll walk through and like get donations and handouts from everybody who watched.
It's like street performers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I kind of love that idea.
Okay, see, I only got about a half hour into it before the show, and I didn't get that far, so that sounds kind of cool to get into.
Yeah, it was a really good one. And then the part I kind of talked about you, Darkness, is that I hated this one fucking part where like he's wanting to come back, he's wanting to get actual training, but everybody's telling him no. And then he's just like, well, there's this backyard wrestling promotion that said they'll have me on there. And then there's this little fucking dump. You think it's a girl? I think it's a guy. Little fucking dumpy ass.
No, it's a guy. His voice is just when he starts screaming, it just sounds like a woman who's like upset that
little fucking
screaming.
Dumpy ass 16-year-old who's like, I'm gonna make David Arquette respect professional wrestling. Shut the fuck up, you little. You're so hardcore in your mom's backyard where you gotta wash glass off each other in her fucking bathroom. And then he proceeds to beat the shit out of David Arquette. You could tell David Arquette doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, did this kid?
No. And then he wants to talk about respecting professional wrestling, and he's just doing this shit.
You get David Arquette, and you're gonna sit there and honestly tell me somebody who's been in WCW, who might not be a well respected as far as being a wrestler, but he's got personal firsthand knowledge for the inner workings of WCW, and he can still pass that knowledge on to you, and you're gonna treat him like that?
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with you? He has knowledge of the inner workings of a major wrestling promotion, and you're gonna sit there and tell me that you're gonna educate him and you're gonna show him to respect the business.
It's because they're all badass 16, 17-year-olds in their fucking backyards hitting each other's light tubes and shit. And this is coming from somebody, by the way, who's a hardcore champion right now.
It's No Limits. I'm sorry.
No Limits, whatever. But still, like, you could do hardcore and still like have an art form to it.
Yeah.
These guys are just going out there and, beating the shit out of their bodies for no reason.
Yeah. It was funny because it was like, I remember a bunch of that backyard stuff when I was a kid, and we never had a federation or anything like that. It was me and a friend in high school, and all we would do is after every pay-per-view, we would go down underneath the bridge and we would wrestle underneath the bridge. It was just the two of us. We were just trying to learn. We were just trying to go through the motions. But these kids who get together and they put up these rings and then they come out with these light tubes and all this other stuff. Yeah. It's just beyond,
And then, like, on the other spectrum of that, he goes in there with Nick Gage, who's a well-known deathmatch wrestler. I kind of felt that, like, I watched this with my wife and she didn't see the stuff. We have been in it doing this a long time, and we all see little things. And Nick Gage was being a prick for no real reason, stiffing him and just lighting him up and like doing mean shit to him, and looked a little bit about the backstage thing. So Nick Gage like breaks light tubes over Arquette, and then does the thing where he takes the end of the light tube and jabs Arquette in the forehead with the broken bits. Jeez. And then Arquette's like, okay, you're not doing that again. So like Nick Gage walks over and does it again, and Arquette's trying to cover up. And then Arquette like single leg takedowns Nick Gage, but on the way down, he accidentally slices his fucking neck open. And blood's like spurting out. And then you can tell Arquette's pissed off, which I would be too. I said, don't fucking do it again. And then fucking wings Nick Gage in the head with a chair that had light tubes on it, and then gets held down for the 1, 2, 3. Doesn't even sell it. Pops up and goes to the back and hits the hospital.
Jeez. So that match there is not part of the documentary, right?
Oh, they show almost the entirety of the match.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I watched it before I watched the documentary because I was it was on like TMZ, and I was kind of interested in it.
Yeah.
But it's a phenomenal documentary. I highly recommend it.
And the official title of the documentary is "You Can't Kill David Arquette."
It's "You Cannot Kill David Arquette." I found out that
you cannot kill.
It's on Amazon Prime right now, and there's a huge difference between "You Can't Kill" and "You Cannot Kill."
Okay.
If you put "You Can't Kill," nothing comes up. But if you put "You Cannot Kill," then it'll come up.
Gotcha.
All right. So I'm about a half hour into it. Like I said, I'll finish off the last hour probably right when we get out of here. But yeah, it's interesting. I love wrestling documentaries. There's a few of them out there that are really good. I don't know if you guys ever saw the Vampiro one, which is pretty crazy. He starts a promotion in Mexico.
No, I never saw that one.
That's called like Angel Devil, the story of Vampiro. So There's a couple of really good ones out there. I mean, Beyond the Mat, everyone knows
Beyond the Mat,
so.
a great one. Did you ever see the
Jake
Backyard?
the Snake? What was it? No, I didn't see the Backyard. That's the one with the two brothers, right?
Well, it has two brothers on it, yeah.
Oh, well, wasn't it two brothers that were mad at each other over something, and then they decide to settle it in the backyard?
Well, it was in storyline, yeah.
Oh, okay. Like I said, I just vaguely remember pieces of it. So
because it was like these two brothers who like have a federation, but it's just those two and their fucking ugly ass girlfriends. But I like that one because there's I remember seeing this guy on you remember Tough Enough?
Yeah.
This guy was on him, and I met him like years and years and years ago. The Lizard. And he's kind of like the focal point of that. He's a California guy. I was wondering if you knew him, Darkness, but
the Lizard. No, the only guy from Tough Enough that I trained with was
Eric Watts.
Yeah, that's the guy from Tough Enough that he came in and trained with us, and he was the star where I started out. So
that was one of Bad Blood's old partners.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it probably was. Bad Blood and him teamed up a lot in California where I was at. So yeah, but yeah, Eric Watts was the guy from Tough Enough that I knew. But
cool.
The Lizard does not strike a chord. I don't know.
I met him once and I remember he smelled bad.
Okay. Well.
Okay. Does he smell worse than some people we know?
Yes and no, because it's not like he doesn't smell like cigarettes. It's that stale sweat. Not washing your fucking pads. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Kids, if you're looking to get into the business, here's a tip, and it's not going to come from your trainer. Wash your shit, because nobody wants to smell it, and you will be ostracized in the locker room if you don't.
I don't know. Every trainer I've ever had has highly emphasized washing your elbow pads, knee pads, wash everything, because nobody wants to get in the ring with somebody who smells like BO.
No, that's actually true, because my first manager and my trainers all said, wash your shit.
Yeah, the one thing I hate, like, there's been a few times where I forgot to wash something, like, throughout the week, and it's like, fuck, and I apologize. But you get people like, dude, I can't wash my pads. It's going to deform them. It's going to make them look. It's like, fucking throw them in the wash, bro.
No, it doesn't. I've washed my knee pads, and I've had them for 5 years. And I wash them after every show.
Yep, I do too. I got my shit. I washed it right after the last match I had, and it's all been hanging up waiting for the next one.
In 2016.
So. I remember because my
fucking Dennis Stamp's joining us today.
Dennis Stamp.
Remember, he's the little fat guy on the trampoline.
What?
You don't remember him on Beyond the Mat?
Oh, okay.
I'm not showing up because I'm not booked.
Yeah, that guy.
On this ECW WWF show.
Yeah, the Terry Funk retirement, part 7. Yeah.
His 43rd retirement.
Part 17.
Yeah, that Terry Funk, man. God bless him.
For those of you who never watched it, Dennis Stamp was a enhancement talent, I think they're calling him now. And he, like the documentary takes place in like 97. And he straight up with a straight face goes, I think my last match was in 1986, and they're just fewer and farther in between, and you just never know, so I always got to stay ready. It's like, man, I think you just got to give it up at that point.
Well, I don't know. Darkness, when was the last time you were booked?
I was booked with you, remember? We became the number 1 contenders for the BCW tag team titles.
It was a joke.
I
brother.
know.
It was a
joke. But okay, never mind. Anyway, we'll be cutting that out too.
Nope.
No, we'll leave that in. Fuck it. But I don't know. All right, so wrestling. We got wrestling talk out of the way.
We got wrestling. We got our spooky and wrestling corner out of the way.
What we want to delve into next, guys.
But I'm interested in finding out what what did you say, Zach? Hello?
Dead air now.
Wait, what? No. My mic cut out on me. What happened?
I was like, what did you say? Because it went.
Okay,
moving
remember
on.
now. Anyway, I said on this podcast where we don't talk about wrestling.
Yeah,
Right.
well, very minimally talk about wrestling.
So hey, let's talk about Bill and Ted.
Oh yeah, you watched Bill and Ted.
I did too. Yeah,
You both did. I fucking refused to watch it. So you guys go right ahead.
You know what? You're probably in the smarter half of the people. Didn't fucking watch it.
Hey,
why?
I found it interesting. I didn't go into this thing expecting a masterpiece. It was a Bill and Ted movie to me.
Okay.
No. The two Bill and Teds are works of fucking art. You put respect on those names, all right? And then you walk out and you squat over my fucking DVD player and push out this trash. Fuck you.
Thank you. Zach says very eloquently. You know, it wouldn't piss me off so much if they hadn't have basically taken Bill and Ted and shuffled them off to the side on basically like a side mission while their daughters went and did all the important shit. That kind of pissed me off. It's like, you know what? If you're going to rehash the past and just use the daughters, there's no reason to have them in it. Just say that they died or something. You know, you had to get Keanu Reeves to anchor people in. And, you know, I don't know. It was just disappointing to me. If it's a Bill and Ted movie, make it about Bill and Ted. You know, it's not like they're going to make another one with their daughters instead. So it's not like they're passing the torch or anything.
They might, and I think it's just them passing the torch. It was them passing the torch. They took themselves and faded out, and they basically left it to the daughters. And I'm not saying it was a great movie. I'm not saying rush out and like fucking throw praise at it, but it was entertaining. The only thing I did dislike was it felt the end was very rushed and then abruptly ended.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, all right, our budget's almost up. Let's get this over with. But
well, I don't even necessarily know if it was the budget because they're finishing up as all this kind of came into play.
Yeah, all
the pandemic and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I will say William Sadler was fucking awesome. So reprising his role as the Grim Reaper, he was probably my favorite thing in that whole movie.
Yeah, yeah. I liked him, and then I did like I like how their other selves, what they were doing to each other. Without going into spoilers, I just like what they were doing to try to pretty much dupe or trick the other Bill and Ted.
Oh, yes, that was a funny scene. I will give you that. So you know, there was spots to it. I'm not going to say it was a total disaster of a movie, but you know, it wasn't up to what I was hoping it would be. Maybe I had higher aspirations because I was a fan of the old ones. So,
well, I'm still a fan of the old ones. I'm not saying this anywhere near compares to the other ones.
Okay,
but I do feel that it fits in with them. It's not like I'm going to sit there and be like, you got to give respect to it because it should be at least equal to. No, it's ending a saga. It's ending the trilogy. It's making it brings it to an end. We know what happened to Bill and Ted, and then now if they want to, they can carry on with the daughters, which I hope to God they don't.
Yeah. All right, so there's the Dark Asylum, just a 2-man review on Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Out of 5, I gave it a 2.5.
Out of 5?
Out of 5.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck? I gave it 1.5 stars out of 2.
Out of 137 stars, I give it 109. What is the scale you're going off of? All right, so do we want to get into comic book club?
No, I wanted to mention how New Mutants only grossed $7 million, one of the lowest in the X-Men franchise.
You see, nobody knew that came out. I had no idea until it said, "Oh, the movies that came out this week: Bill and Ted." Oh, and New Mutants. I was like, They released that?
Well,
but they only released it to theaters, right?
Exactly. That's the thing. I knew
why.
it was coming out. They should have did exactly what Bill and Ted did. Rent it for $20, buy it for $24.
Well, they had it in the theaters too.
Well, what
exactly?
What basically every movie is doing right now.
So if they would have put it out in the theaters and either rent it at home or buy it, bam, there you go.
Did you see it?
No, I have not. I'm not going to go to the theater.
Okay.
So you got people out there who are
pussy.
Very. I don't have any theaters near me that are open, and I'm not going to venture out and go find one.
Yeah, I mean we're 5 minutes away from each other. The mall does not have their theater open. They barely have any of the stores open at the mall. So.
Right.
I know what I said.
But you guys,
you what?
I know what I said.
Fuck off, Zach.
Okay.
So you got the people who will gun ho go to the theater because they're like, fuck this, nothing's going to stop me. More power to them. They'll provide money that way to the movie. Then you got the people who are like, oh, dude, I'd rather stay at home. And if you're wise and you do what Bill and Ted did, $20 to rent it or $24 to buy it, people are going to buy it.
Or you do what's wise for making money, and you offer it for premium viewing for $30 on your already streaming service.
God, are you still mad about that Disney thing?
I'm just mad because I know it's going to happen with Black Widow, and that is a movie that I do actually want to see.
Look, man, I want to watch Mulan. I just don't want to pay $30 for it.
No, don't watch fucking Mulan.
You're so full of shit.
No.
It's cool. Yeah. The cartoon one's my favorite Disney movie. Second favorite Disney movie.
I never saw it.
You uncultured swine.
There's a bunch of those late 90s, early 2000s Disney movies I didn't quite catch. So,
what was the last Disney movie you watched?
Incredibles 2.
Oh, okay. So it's not too long ago.
Wait, no. Which one came out later? Wreck-It Ralph 2 or Incredibles 2?
Look, I was just talking shit. I don't fucking pay attention. I don't know.
Fucking call my bluff, motherfucker. Don't talk to me like that. Last Disney movie I watched, Song of the South. The last Disney movie, the most recent one, Incredibles 2, I'm going to say.
I saw Frozen 2 in theaters. Didn't take my daughter, but I saw it.
The last one I saw was the live action Lion King.
Ooh, how was that one?
I liked it.
Because I watched live action Beauty and the Beast and wanted to fucking shoot myself.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but the Lion King wasn't bad. It wasn't. It definitely was not the cartoon. The animated, that was a masterpiece right there. Yeah. But they hit a lot of the. I still teared up when Mufasa died. So,
spoilers.
I mean, I guess that's because if you don't know what happened in Lion King, then you need to jump in front of traffic. Okay.
Well, don't tell that to the fucking 8-year-olds who listen to this.
God.
If there's 8-year-olds listening to this, the parents need to go to jail.
Our demographic is 8 to 13, so we're really.
Yeah, I forgot to put the explicit content label on it last week. Sorry. Corrupting children now.
So you just now mentioned that 8 to 13 is the highest people watching, and Zach's talking about my nutsack.
Yeah, we're gonna get arrested soon.
Yeah. Zach talking about your nutsack is probably the most PG thing that's come out of his mouth in a while. Fuck! Last week we had a story about a dude with a fucking dildo rammed up him in a hotel room. And
then we spent the week before that we spent 20 minutes talking about how much of a whore Hagrid's mom is.
Yeah. So
just getting that troll dick railed on her.
I'm gonna watch it.
All right, and that would be you guys rating every live action Batman movie.
The Batmans?
Oh fuck.
And then I will give you what the critics say are
All right, so
I'm telling you right now, the critics are wrong.
I'm going to start out
I bet
with
they are.
my favorite and then work my way down to the worst. How's that? Batman 89 is my favorite. And
It's doesn't want to close. Sorry.
Who is that?
Or maybe your laptop's in the way and your shit's in the way.
Oh, we have a real life girl on the podcast. Oh no.
And my wife's voice was on that one week when we were asking her about Harry Potter.
Was that who that was?
Sure.
No. Oh, that day, yeah. This was Sarah.
Oh. What'd she want?
I'm cutting all this.
Oh.
Okay. So before you the cut mark. So yeah, 10 Batman movies. They're in Justice League versus Superman.
Oh,
so
shit.
are we including Justice League then?
Batman the movie, the Adam West in here.
Adam West's okay. All right, so my favorites, Batman 89. And then I'll go Batman Begins.
Really?
And then it seemed very much like a comic book storyline to me. I mean, with the water that they're going to vaporize and turn into poison. I mean, that's such a comic book story, and it was the most realistic that you could make it. So I kind of liked it. Are you sitting on the toilet or what?
Actually, I was just shooting ropes.
Well, there you go.
We're talking about Batman. I had to crank one out.
Batman Begins. Oh, and I just finished.
I'm shooting.
I just finished. All right. Yeah.
I have completed.
Yeah. All right. And then I will go with Batman Mask of the Phantasm because I know that's on there.
Ooh.
No, that's animated.
Okay, so live action. I'm sorry. Fuck me sideways. Fuck. I'm sorry. All right. So Batman 89, Batman Begins, Batman Returns, The Dark Knight Rises, Batman v Superman, Justice League, Adam West Batman, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin.
All right.
Yeah, I think I got them.
I'm looking.
Yeah, it looks like you got them all.
Now, fuck you for not including Mask of the Phantasm on there, by the way.
No, this is something that it's an article I saw, and I saw them rank, and I figured I'd get your guys' opinion before I told you what, in my opinion, and before I told you what the critics said was.
Okay, so
from 1 to 10 or 10.
All right, Zach.
My turn. Batman Returns, Batman 89, Dark Knight Rises, Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin is a fucking hilarious movie, and I will put it up against any fucking comedy, all right?
Okay.
Batman and Robin, Batman v Superman, Batman Forever, probably Batman Begins, Justice League, and Dark Knight.
And where does Batman Adam West go?
Below the Dark Knight.
Obviously at the end.
Oh, wow. What did they officially rank them?
All right. So we're going from we're starting at 10. We're going 10 all the way down to 1.
Okay.
So number 10 on the list, Batman and Robin. They gave that a 19.5 average.
Jeez.
Number 9, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. They gave that an average of 36.
That one was better than Justice League. I don't know.
Justice League, 42.5 average.
Oh, fuck off.
Then we got Batman 89. They gave that an average of 70. Yeah. No, believe Batman Returns, an average of 74. So that's number 5. Number 4, Batman the movie with Adam West.
That bullshit.
A 74.5. Batman Begins, an average of 77. Number 2, The Dark Knight Rises, average of 82.5.
Number 1.
They're just Nolan.
Number 1, The Dark Knight, average of 89.
Okay. I'm saying this right here on this on a huge worldwide forum that we're on. I'm tired of pretending the Christopher Nolan Batman movies were good movies. They were fucking trash. The Dark Knight Rises was okay at best. The Dark Knight, if Heath Ledger didn't die in it, it would have been an okay movie. I hate Christian Bale as Batman.
No, I agree. I like Batman Begins because you can kind of actually look at it as it takes place before Batman 89 in a way.
God, but that fucking costume looked awful.
Oh, yeah, that was one of my biggest complaints was the costume. It just, I know, yeah, he wants to turn his head and everything else, but yeah, but Ra's al Ghul and the Scarecrow were good. And like I said, the overall plot of the story, it seemed like it was ripped right out of a comic book, and it was believable, which is what I liked about it.
Well, you take the Scarecrow, which is legitimately one of the best Batman villains, and you kind of just turn him into a punchline with those three movies.
Yeah, they did that. I mean, the first one he had a decent, but then the second and third, he was like, he just showed up in a courtroom scene or something. Like he was
the judge. Oh yeah, remember this guy? He's been in these movies too.
Yeah,
and I love Cillian Murphy as the Scarecrow, but fuck, give him something better.
Yeah.
Oh, we wanted to make it dark and gritty. Fuck you.
All right, here's a quick question for you. Of any Batman villain that has not made it to the big screen, which one would you like to see and played by who?
So a Batman villain that hasn't made it to the big screen that we would like to see and played by who?
Yeah.
Condiment King played by Dwayne Johnson.
Well, he's already Black Adam, so that's not going to happen.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that.
Universe building.
So did everybody else.
Yeah.
Woo!
I saw his Mortal Kombat ending in a game that he wasn't in, but... All right, well, you guys think about it. I got two, but
let's hear yours.
The first one that I wanted to see that is not going to happen now because the actor's too old. I would have loved, and this was right around in the Keaton era Batman, if they would have done Mr. Freeze. Oh no, he's already big screen. Never mind.
Yeah,
he's Schwarzenegger.
The best but Mr. Freeze.
No, I think Christopher Lloyd would have made an awesome Mr. Freeze. If you shaved his head and he had those goggles on and he just talked in that monotone voice like he did with Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
okay,
that would have been fucking awesome. And he could have finally gotten like legit because he's kind of like a comic actor and nobody ever gave him anything. But the only one that hasn't been to the big screen that I can think of that I would love to see would be Clayface. And coming up with an actor to play him, it's almost like you would want to try and do it a little bit meta, where you'd want to do like an older actor who was like kind of a pretty boy back in the day, and his looks are kind of failing.
If Marlon Brando was still alive,
you know what? That would be awesome. Something like that. Like that kind of a casting.
I want awesome. Clayface. I want Clayface, but I don't want young Marlon Brando when he gave his shit. I want fucking bloated Apocalypse Now Marlon Brando who showed up, slept his way through 6 lines, and fucking demanded a paycheck.
He's reading the script off of a baby's diaper. Jesus. He is Superman's father, remember.
I love the idea of him and Godfather in this hugely powerful scene where like, oh, they massacred my boy, and he's crying, but off the camera he's holding a hot dog that he's been snacking on all day.
I don't know who you could cast as that Clayface role, but like I said, an older actor who was like a pretty boy and who's not too much anymore. That Marlon Brando was perfect, though. You would have never gotten him to do it, but that's pretty cool.
Oh, he would have done it if you put enough zeros on the paycheck. He just wanted to give him the shit.
That's true. That's true.
Because in like Superman, he tried his hardest to like voice over most of it.
Yeah, and like I said, he was sitting there reading off of the baby's diaper, the few lines that he had in Superman. So.
I one day want that level of not giving a shit.
All right, did you guys come up with anything?
Kite Man, played by Eric Andre.
Jesus.
I don't think he was a Batman villain.
Kite Man was a Batman villain.
No, I meant Jesus. But
okay. No, I'm pretty sure
Hey.
he was a Superman villain.
I mean, we already got kind of a Ra's al Ghul, which I think we should have had something better. Liam Neeson wasn't. I don't know.
They should have stuck with Ken. What the fuck's his name? Ken Watanabe, the first guy who we were led to believe was Ra's al Ghul. Should have stuck with him.
All right, well, that went over like a turd in a punch bowl. So
no, we can keep going. This is just Big Vicious doesn't notice. We can salvage it.
What the fuck ever?
Well, the more I get to talk about Batman, the more I'm happy. I just had a cool one though, just pop in my head. Jeff Bridges playing Hugo Strange.
I can see it actually.
Fucking Jeff Bridges.
He kind of, I mean, with Obadiah Stane, the look that he had in that. But
that's what I kind of like thought about.
Yeah, I could see that.
Zach Galifianakis playing Professor Pig.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you're getting into some of the darker ones. That Morrison run was really good with their crazy villains.
Professor Pig was fucking dark.
And then, so who'd you pick for Man-Bat?
Oh, Andy Serkis.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, I mean, you want to go really crazy. I mean, you got like the Grim Reaper and all that stuff for Batman villains, but
Who would make a good Victor Zsasz?
Ooh, well, he's already been out. Hasn't he already been in a movie?
Oh, he was in
Birds of Prey.
Oh, he was. I forgot about that.
So,
yeah.
Who would you guys pick for Solomon Grundy? See, that was the problem. I'm sitting here trying to think of a good actor before I said who I wanted.
Braun Strowman.
Who?
Well, yeah, because he already just has to go up there and scream. That's all Grundy does.
Yeah. He'd be all CGI anyway, so
I couldn't fucking. Who's the bodybuilder who played the Hulk?
Lou Ferrigno.
Lou Ferrigno.
As Solomon Grundy.
We just have to pay him blue. Yeah.
All right, I guess.
And isn't he deaf? So it'd be like even more funny.
Oh.
Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday.
Wow. Okay.
Michael Caine as the ventriloquist.
Everybody.
Michael Caine's already offered.
Fuck it. No.
No.
And like, we offended deaf people. What?
Oh, jeez. We're gonna get canceled.
Oh man.
It's like insulting the Amish. How the fuck are they gonna know?
Until that one Amish guy listens to us on their weird weekend.
Yeah. I mean, you got tons of villains. A lot of them are gonna be in Suicide Squad, but I mean, Firefly, Firebug. You know.
Well, I mean, then you have Killer Croc.
Well, they had him in Suicide Squad.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's,
KGB.
I'd rather see him in Batman.
Oh yeah.
I would love. I don't know. I can't think of who I'd want to play him, but Deacon Blackfire would be a good person.
All right. So one last question, then we'll get out of this comic thing. Of a DC property or a DC character that you have not seen on the big screen, who would you want to see? Like a favorite of yours that's maybe a little under the radar that you'd like to see?
The Submariner.
That's Marvel, but okay.
That is Marvel. Never mind. Fuck. No, it just
we
came.
can go there.
It legitimately just came to my head because the comic book auctions I go to, one of the guys is trying his hardest to sell these Submariner comics, and it's just not happening.
Submariner's never been a big seller.
I mean,
Jesus, V.
He's just ripping down that closet.
No, he's not making any noise. All right.
Well,
I'm just going to edit that. We're not going to even forget it.
Well, Big V's dead.
I didn't ask that last question.
No. There's too much shit going on.
Okay.
Oh, man. Remember when Vincent Price played Egghead?
Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
Man, fuck you. That was gold.
Yeah, it was gold from the actor, but he could have been a much better character.
What about Zatanna?
Zatanna? Yeah, I'd like to see her.
It's my favorite G tier Mortal Kombat character. So I think through that, since we're still in comics, we should talk about The Wake.
Yes, The Wake by Scott Snyder. And it was Big V's choice.
Yeah.
So,
it was my choice, something that none of us have read.
Yeah.
You didn't read it either?
I read it, but I never read it before, so it was something that none of us have.
Well, shit, that's what I suggest. I suggest comic books that I know are good and I know everybody's going to enjoy. You just take this shot in the dark, you fucking wild card.
Fuck yeah.
So, yeah, I read The Wake. I read the first, I guess it's the first arc of the story.
It's like the first 10 issues.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember how many issues it was. Oh, okay. So I got to... It's almost like The Thing in a submarine, I guess is a way of putting it. But, yeah, it was interesting because you get she's a marine biologist or something like that.
Yeah.
So they have her come in and do research because they're getting weird sonar based transmissions coming in their equipment. So they get this chick and they bring her onto this underwater sea lab basically. And it was interesting, like I said, because it was like The Thing. They had these weird mer people that were like half fish, half people, and they, instead of changing their bodies to look like other people, they could influence the minds of the people that were down there to look like the other people, and basically kind of shapeshift in that way by screwing with their mind instead of physically changing themselves. So it was interesting. It was like a horror movie in comic book form. So, I liked the first arc of it. I didn't go past that, so I don't know where it goes from there, though.
So, yeah, like, the way you said it was kind of set up really good as a horror movie. And in my eyes, it kind of made it a little bit predictable. And then it kind of just petered out for me. Like, it starts off pretty good and really interesting. And then, it just kind of peters out for me. And I wasn't that big of a fan of the mermaid design. And then they had the theory of where, like, they tried to science it.
Oh, yeah, they got really into the explanation of the creatures.
Yeah, and it really just kind of killed it for me. Like with aliens with the xenomorphs, they were so much cooler and better when they were just something in space you have to deal with from time to time. And then the new movies came out and then tried to put too much explanation on them, and now they're not as scary. And that's kind of the thing I had with the killer mermaids in The Wake.
No, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I understand exactly that. It's almost like it's scarier not knowing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the fear of the unknown. Like, are these people that got mutated by some kind of toxic waste? Are these a step in evolution? Is this? I mean, you draw your own conclusion. Like
Darkness, you put on this good idea with it's kind of like The Thing. Well, in John Carpenter's The Thing, you don't know what the fuck it is. It's a space alien, but you don't know what it looks like. You don't know anything about it. You know what it does, and then that makes it so much more scarier. The same with like the mer people in The Wake would be scarier if they were just something that fucked with your head when you went down too deep and they don't want you down there. And
exactly.
it didn't do much for me.
Okay, so you will not be continuing the story.
No, I read it. I spent $6 on it. I won't be continuing it.
V, what did you
I give it 2 stars out of 60.
So Zach said he was enjoying the beginning and then it petered off. It was going back and forth. Like, I kind of forced myself to continue reading because it would be enjoyable, and then it kind of dropped for me. Then it'd pick up a little bit. Yes, it was that very horror movie aspect. It was like, but when I'm reading something, I don't want to be able to predict. Like Zach said, it was very predictable. A horror movie, it's predictable, and some turn around and surprise you by throwing you a
Yeah.
curveball, but you expect to go into a horror movie. You know what you expect, and that's a horror movie. So I'm cool with that. But when I'm reading a book, whether it's a comic book or a book, I don't want to like pretty much go, oh, I already know what the end's going to be.
You don't want to be like, okay, this person's gonna die, this person's gonna die, this person might live.
That's where, so comic books, I prefer reading an actual book over comic books in a lot of ways because I can let my imagination roll. A comic book, you're getting somebody else's perspective of it. They're showing you what they see, which I enjoy that too because like the artwork, I like the artwork.
Yes,
in it.
actually, yes, the artwork was fantastic in it.
Yeah, it was really fantastic. I really loved the artwork and I was enjoying that. When you can start predicting it, it's like pretty much, all right, I already know what you're about to do here and I'm done. And you kind of have to force yourself to continue reading so that way you actually have an opinion. So yeah, I will not continue reading.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me is that I like Transmetropolitan, even though I didn't really care for it, I still wanted to read it. With The Wake, I had to, well, fuck, I guess I'll read it.
Yeah, and with Saga, I'm still reading it. I still like it.
Yeah.
So I'm still continuing with that one on my own.
And I'm continuing on both those two. So
You're still reading Transmetropolitan?
Yeah, I read a little bit here on each one throughout the week, and then with this, yeah, no, I basically with Saga had this tell Zach it sucked so he can have a fit, but like everything, some things start off very slow, and you just have to like give it a chance, and with Saga it picked up. I'm enjoying it. So you guys pick good ones that you guys know. And I'll throw in the wild card every time.
Wild card, bitches!
Sounds like my family playing Uno. What the fuck?
And for this week, it's the blind draw. We are going to read. Oh fuck!
No, this week I'm sticking with the safe bet that I know I like. We're gonna read the first volume of Southern Bastards by Image Comics.
Okay,
all right.
And it's not. What's up?
Do you have an author or anyone that wrote it, or?
Fuck, I don't know.
Okay, I'm just trying to help people find it if they're looking for it.
Go type in Southern Bastards by Image Comics.
I can't imagine there's too many comic titles with the name Bastards in it. So.
No, but like, I was talking to Darkness a little bit about this, and this coming from a professional wrestler, this might come as a shock. I'm not a big sports guy, and I don't really care for football. I love crime dramas, and this is a crime drama where the centerpiece is like high school football as the front for all this shady like Southern crime drama. This kind of kingpin crime lord is allowed to, and this isn't spoiling anything. This is it's up front. This drug lord kingpin is kind of allowed. Everybody knows he's doing this horrible shit, but he's leading their football team to state, so they're kind of like, we'll just brush it under the table because he's led us to state 4 times already. And I love because it has. We're talking about art style, and it has like this purposefully ugly art style just to show how ugly everything is, and it's really fucking good, I think. And I can't wait for you guys to read it and get your thoughts on it.
What's it called again?
Southern Bastards.
Southern Bastards. First volume is Here Was a Man.
Okay.
All right.
Well, look into that.
Read that and have my book report ready for you next week.
I want it scaled on a 25-star rating.
20. Okay.
25. Jesus.
25. I give it. Yes.
I give it 3 shoes out of 4.
So we got comic book club out of the way. Anything else we got pending? We got no V-Spot because
he gets in trouble.
V gets in trouble. We'll try to come up with next week. We'll have ghost stories.
I think V's ghost story is going to be a good segment.
Yeah, I'm going up to this cemetery up by the New Hope Church on Wednesday, and then back to the other cemetery on Saturday.
Cool.
So I should have some interesting stuff.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that, actually. It'll be kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, we've pretty much covered anything new in the world of pop culture, comic books, movies that you guys can think of. I mean, been kind of a slow news week for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I just kind of scrolled. I didn't see it, look into it, but I kind of just scrolled past that DC announced that there's going to be a Batman Day.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
So
is it coming up, or is it they're planning it as an annual thing?
I just said I scrolled past it. I don't fucking know.
Okay. Wow.
This is the type of
way to
hard
be
hitting
personable for our listeners. Jesus.
So next week I should be able to give you a little more on the Marvel Avenger game. It comes out on the 4th. Mine's already been mailed out, so I should be receiving it any day now.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
we'll get an update on how it transitioned from beta into actual release.
Ooh.
I've already heard a coworker picked his copy up
September
today,
19th.
and he already said,
Okay, September 19th is Batman Day.
Okay, continue, V.
Jesus. I can hear the keystrokes in the background as he's trying to come up with it. Oh, God.
Oh, shit. But yeah, he already said it's better than the beta version, so I'm excited to check that out.
Ooh,
and
if we're talking about video games, I want to talk about Disco Elysium.
we already went through the video games. Jesus.
No, he gets to talk about his little stupid Marvel game. I want to talk about my actual big boy games.
All right, go ahead.
Disco Elysium's really good. I'm done. So,
is it on Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam. It's okay. I love the art style in it because it's kind of like a top-down isometric thing where you point and click where you want to go, but everything's like it's kind of like watercolors, like everything's painted onto the screen. And the idea is you're a detective who's kind of a shitbag, and you're trying to solve a murder, but you got so drunk and pilled up the night before that you give yourself amnesia. You have a hangover so bad that you give yourself amnesia. And so you got to kind of go from the bottom up on how to solve this murder again. And then you kind of just kind of like figure out how much of a shitbag you were. And like the cool thing about it.
So I realized
the cool thing about it is that
I realized why Zach likes this game.
I was going to say it, but I kept my mouth shut. It's finally a character I can identify with. Oh,
wow. It's so real.
It's very immersive. Okay. He's sitting there getting drunk with the guy. All right. Well,
that's kind of the thing. That's kind of the thing about it is that like you could choose to not because like you'll put points into like little your personality traits. Like you could put points into it's called physical instrument, and it's not like how hard you could punch, but if you could take a good punch. And then there's a thing where like you could put points into your addiction, and then every now and then, every time you see a bottle of wine or a bottle of booze or a cigarette, your addiction will be like, hey, you should totally steal that. And then you could actually talk to it back and be like, yeah, I'm gonna, or tell it to fuck off.
Okay.
But like my favorite part of it is like very early in the game, you wake up, you're like, oh shit, I'm hungover. You piece together that you're a cop. And then your partner comes in and your partner's like, okay, did you check out the dead body? What dead body? Well, you mean you didn't check out the dead body? It's just been hanging there for 7 fucking days. And then, you go behind the hotel you're staying in and there's a dead body that's just been there for 7 days.
Fuck.
Nice.
That's awesome.
All right. It's called Disco
Elysium.
Elysium. All right.
Yeah.
I'll look into that one because I got a Steam account. So,
and then and you could adopt like ideas that'll affect your dialogue choices in it. Like again, very early on, to get past this one guy, if you put points into your physique, how physical you are, you could kick his ass and then push his butt and like get past him to the big mafia boss. Or if you can't do that, you could argue with them about how racism is bad, or you could adopt the idea of racism and it totally affects the way people talk to you and your dialogue choices because now you're just a racist.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those ones that like you're not going to sit down and play it for 30 minutes. It's one where you have to clear out some time for it.
All right. So, anything else pending that we can think of?
No wrestling going on, so I can't promote any shows.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that eventually, hopefully. So, if you guys want to head on over to the website, Dark Asylum, we got our own individual Facebooks. Look them all up. Buy a shirt. Twitter.
Shirt, buy my book.
But you got a book? Buy my book. People power. All right.
Exactly what I was going for.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you I met the Banana Hands himself?
No shit.
Yeah. That dude is a trip and a half, man.
It
was funny because I had to bodyguard for him, and I'm like, why does this dude need a bodyguard? He was taller than V and maybe half as wide. Like he was pretty big.
Really?
It's like if like All Might was a person, it would be Tony Robbins. He was just like, "Hi, how are you? I'm Tony Robbins." And then he sticks this big like baseball mitt of a hand out at me. I'm like, Jesus. And like I'm basically bodyguarding All Might. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. Why am I here? So yeah.
Well, because you're basically the mini boss to get to the main boss.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Level 1.
All right. We will wrap this one up. Get your questions into us. You got any ideas for any future segments? Because now we have to kill off the V spot. Luckily, V didn't actually get killed off, so it wasn't the reason we had to kill it, which is always good.
Not yet.
But
well, hey, not yet because hey, I'm going ghost hunting, so there's always the possibility of dying.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well,
I want the recording of you pulling a Zach Bagans and just screaming and scratching yourself. Oh my God, I'm possessed. If I go, I'm wearing an Affliction t-shirt.
you got to.
Fucking douchebag.
All right, so for Zach Winters.
Yep.
For Big Vicious. This is Darkness, and the asylum is closed.